To be so honest with you, this is the second time I filmed this, and I had the cutest outfit on, and I thought the video was fine, and I went to edit it, and it was not. So here we are. Hi, I'm Shelby Willoughby. I love to read, and I created this channel to have a creative space to share the things that I was reading and loving, and I am really excited for this journey. So thank you for watching and for coming along on my reading journey with me. Today I'm going to share my April reading wrap up, and the first one is a big one, and this is not typically the kind of thing that I read. It's Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen. This is a classic. This was written in the 1780s, I think. And fun fact, me and Jane Austen have the same birthday. This book is something that my mom has told me to read so many times, and I have never picked it up because I was never in the right headspace. I tend to be a mood reader. I like basically all the genres, but if I read that genre and I'm not in the mood for it, I won't enjoy it. So after so many years, I was finally ready to read Pride and Prejudice, and I'm so glad I did. I almost started rereading it again as soon as I finished it because it was that good. This book follows Elizabeth Bennet, otherwise known as Lizzie in this book, and she is growing up in a world where society puts a lot of pressure on women to marry somebody of a certain rank or a certain income or a certain wealth, and she is very countercultural for her time and wants to marry for love. Lizzie has 5 sisters, and almost all of them are wanting to marry, and Lizzie is one of the few that wants to marry for the right reasons. This is following her as she is navigating this world and having different opinions than other people. There were so many times in this book where I was like, I resonate with so much of what Lizzie is saying. Love how this book is basically the OG of enemies to lovers when it comes to romance or rom-com novels of the contemporary genre. If you don't know, Lizzie is at a ball with her sisters where they are potentially meeting men that they could court. One of them insults Lizzie, and she takes offense to it, and she hates this man, and she wants everyone in her life to hate her. It's just about her journey growing up and learning about who this guy really is, and his name is Mr. Darcy. So I feel like pretty much everybody knows what happens at the end of this, but if you don't, I won't spoil it for you. It took me a couple of chapters to get used to the writing, but once I did, it really was so enjoyable, and it was not as intimidating or daunting as I thought that it was going to be. So this is Pride and Prejudice by Jane Austen, and I give it 5 stars. The next book that I read is 8 Perfect Murders by Peter Swanson. Peter Swanson is a fairly popular thriller writer of our time, and he wrote The Kind Worth Killing, which I have previously read and really loved. So when I found this at my used bookstore for a fairly good deal, I went ahead and grabbed it and was really excited about it. We're following a man named Malcolm who runs a mystery thriller bookstore. Part of what he does with his job is to write blog posts or articles for the mystery thriller bookshop. One of the articles he had previously written years ago was called 8 Perfect Murders, where he listed out 8 perfect murders from thriller and crime novels that he has read and loved. An FBI agent comes in and is like, hey, I need your help. And he's a little confused, and she says that they've been investigating some homicides that look as if somebody has taken the list that he wrote on that blog post and is actually doing them. She says that he's the expert because he wrote the blog, he's read all the novels. They want to see if any other homicides could potentially be related to this list, to see if there actually is someone out there who is doing them. It had a lot of potential for me. I enjoyed a lot about this, but how it played out in the end just felt kind of melodramatic, to be honest. There could have been some more sinister things happening to make this really feel like a thriller. It was fast-paced for the most part, but the end just kind of left me dry and like wanting it to be different. The very end of this I really disliked, and it actually had the potential to be a 4-star read for me, but I knocked a star off because of the ending. It was just wrapped up too quickly, and if he had given it maybe like 50 more pages, it would have had a more satisfying ending. This book is not even 300 pages, it's like 270 pages, so literally 50 more pages would have made this so much better. I recommend this if you want just a quick thriller, but it's not the best thing in the world. So I give this 3 stars. The next thing that I read on my Kindle, and I don't have a copy of it to show you, but it's The Heiress by Rachel Hawkins. I have previously read or tried to read from this author before, and it just didn't work out for me, but I really wanted to give her one last shot. And so when I read the premise of this book, it was intriguing to me. I was excited about it. I love a thriller that surrounds like a creepy house or a mansion, and so this really sounded like it was going to be up my alley. So we're following a husband and wife. The husband was an adopted son into this really wealthy family, and for reasons that we don't know, he is living across the country to be as far away from them as he can. He doesn't want to go back, even though he has inherited this whole thing, so he technically owns it all, but he's living like he doesn't have all this wealth, and we don't really know why, so we're jumping just straight into the story, trying to figure out what is actually going on, why are they making these decisions. Also following the wife, so it goes back and forth between his perspective and her perspective. The wife seems like she's an unreliable narrator, and we don't really know what her story is or what's going on with her. This book had a lot of potential for me. Was kind of slow in the beginning, which because of how the story wasn't needed to be, but then it never picked up pace. It just stayed slow, and then the ending or the reveal was just so like, what? Why wasn't it any more creepy than that? This is supposed to be a thriller. It didn't feel thrilling. It didn't make me feel like I was on the edge of my seat. It didn't make me feel like I couldn't read it at night, and when I read a thriller, I kind of want that feeling. This was a 2-star read for me. Fourth and final read for April. Can you guess? It's Funny Story by Emily Henry. This is probably going to be my favorite book of the year, and I am not being overdramatic when I say that. If you like witty banter, if you actually want to laugh out loud, if you maybe just feel down in life and need something fun to read or something just that is going to make you feel happy, read this. We've got Daphne and Miles, who are roommates out of convenience after their exes got together and cheated on them. Daphne was forced to leave her house and didn't have anywhere to go, and ended up being roommates with Miles. Miles and Daphne are polar opposites. She is a children's librarian who wears tweed and is kind of pinned up, but has like a fun side of her as well. And then we've got Miles, who seems to just live in his room. He is messy and he smokes and wears Crocs. Needless to say, they're an unlikely pair, but the best pair. We've got witty banter that feels authentic. We've got them sharing their feelings and the things that they're working through personally with each other as friends. They really form a true friendship, which feels very authentic to me as far as them feeling like real people. They really do feel like real people that I can walk next door to and have a good time with. This is a top tier rom-com in my head. I was actually laughing out loud and had tears in my eyes and just checked all the marks for a rom-com for me. So if you need a good rom-com, I definitely recommend getting Funny Story by Emily Henry. I'm giving this 5 stars. Thank you for watching my April reading wrap up. I am so excited to keep sharing my reading journey with you. I do not have an upload schedule at the moment, but it's just gonna be when I can because I have a busy life. What I want to share on here is how I implement reading into my life when I'm busy. There's a lot of people that tell me, oh, I can't believe you have so much time to read. I'm like, I really have a very normal life. I really do, and I just make an intentional effort to read every single day, and I want to share with you what that is like for me with some of my videos. Thank you again for watching, and I will see you next time. Bye!